A train, sealed, windowless, moving through a country at war. Inside, one man, 32 companions, and an idea so dangerous the German government had decided the fastest way to win the war was to unleash it on their enemy. They were right. The weapon worked perfectly. That was the problem. Welcome to History AI. We don't talk about history, we decode it. We think of political decisions like chess moves, calculated, controlled, a piece placed precisely where it needs to go. We forget that pieces move on their own. History is full of systems that introduced a destabilizing force, believing they could contain it, direct it, switch it off when it had done its work. They were always wrong, not because they were foolish, because destabilization doesn't follow instructions, it follows its own logic. It spreads through every system it touches, including the one that released it. Germany in 1917 didn't deploy a weapon. It opened a door, and what came through that door eventually consumed everything on both sides of it. April 9th, 1917. Zurich, Switzerland. Vladimir Ilyich Lenin is 46 years old. He has been in exile for years. Watching a revolution he helped build from the wrong side of a border he cannot cross. Russia is collapsing from the inside. The Tsar has abdicated. A provisional government is holding the country together. Barely. While continuing a war it cannot afford to fight. Lenin wants to go home, but he cannot travel through Britain or France, both allies of Russia, both enemies of his revolution. The only route is through Germany. The enemy. And Germany, bleeding from 4 years of war on two fronts, has been watching Russia collapse with calculated interest. A Russian withdrawal from the war would free an entire German army. Move it west. Change the mathematics of a conflict that was destroying a generation. German military intelligence reaches its conclusion. Lenin, returned to Russia, would accelerate the collapse. The Bolsheviks would seize power, negotiate a peace. Germany wins the Eastern Front without firing another shot. It is, by every strategic calculation available to them in April 1917, a perfect plan. There is one man standing between Lenin and that train. His name is Fritz Platen, a Swiss socialist, a committed internationalist, a man who believes with everything he has that the Russian Revolution is the beginning of something that will liberate the world. He negotiates with German authorities for days. The terms, the conditions, the guarantees of safe passage. He is meticulous. He is careful. He believes he is helping history move in the right direction. He boards the train with Lenin. On April 9th, 1917, the sealed train departs Zurich. Fritz Platen has just made the most consequential deal of the 20th century. He will spend the rest of his life inside the system he helped create. He will die inside it, in a labor camp. But that is not yet visible from the window of a sealed train moving east through Germany in the spring of 1917. To understand what Germany released, you have to understand what they thought they were releasing: a destabilization agent, a political virus, a force that would infect Russia's provisional government, collapse its will to fight, and deliver a negotiated peace. Contained, targeted, temporary. That was the model. Here is what the model missed. Lenin was not a weapon. He was a system, a movement with its own internal logic, its own momentum, its own capacity to spread far beyond the territory it was aimed at. April 16th, 1917. Lenin arrives at Finland Station in Petrograd. The provisional government watches, nervous but not alarmed. They believe they can contain him. They are wrong. Within months, the Bolsheviks have seized power. The provisional government is dissolved. Russia signs the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk. Germany gets exactly what it wanted, for approximately 8 months. Then, a worker in Berlin reads a newspaper, sets it down, doesn't go back to the factory. A sailor in Kiel looks at his orders, looks at the men beside him, refuses. A crowd gathers in Munich, then Hamburg, then 100 cities whose names the German government had never associated with revolution. Factory whistles stop, councils form, the words spreading from mouth to mouth in languages Germany thought were only spoken east of its borders. November 1918. The Kaiser doesn't abdicate because an enemy army defeated him. He abdicates because the fire jumped the border. The weapon came home. It always does. This is where the lens shifts. When AI models Germany's decision, it doesn't produce a warning. It produces a mirror. Germany believed it was opening a door into Russia. The model sees something different. It sees two rooms connected by the same hallway, both rooms under the same pressure, both walls showing the same cracks, both populations carrying the same exhaustion, both governments sitting on the same accumulated weight of 4 years of war. Open one door. The pressure moves through both. Germany drew a line between itself and Russia. Us, them, stable, unstable. The model sees no line. It sees two versions of the same structure, wearing different flags. The moment Lenin crosses the border, the pressure equalizes. Not because anyone planned it, because that is what happens when you open a passage between two rooms that were already at breaking point. German military intelligence didn't make a strategic error. They made an assumption so deep they never thought to examine it, that they were nothing like the country they were trying to destroy. The model identifies that assumption before the train leaves Zurich, and here is where it goes silent. Because it can see the assumption. It cannot explain why no one inside the room thought to question it. That is not a data problem. That is a human problem. The kind that has no formula, only consequences. There is a life that needs to be seen here. Fritz Platten boards the sealed train in Zurich, believing he is helping build a better world. He travels to Russia. He stays. He commits himself entirely to the revolution he helped deliver. He watches Lenin build the Soviet state. He watches Stalin consolidate power. He watches the revolution consume itself, the purges, the show trials, the disappearances. He does not leave. In 1938, Fritz Platten is arrested. The charge: counter-revolutionary activity. The man who negotiated Lenin's passage, who made the sealed train possible, who gave the Bolsheviks their moment, is sent to a labor camp by the system he spent his life building. He dies there in 1942. History remembered Lenin. History remembered the train. History did not remember the man who made the deal, or what the deal cost him. Fritz Platten did not die as an enemy of the revolution. He died as its consequence. Here is the full weight. Germany's decision to send Lenin east. Russia exits World War I. The Treaty of Brest-Litovsk, March 1918. The Bolsheviks seize power. 70 years of Soviet rule begin. The Russian Civil War, millions dead. The forced collectivization, millions more. The Gulag system, millions again. The Cold War, 40 years of nuclear standoff. The division of Europe, an entire continent split along an ideological line drawn in 1917. And Germany itself, the revolutionary wave of 1918 to 1919. The Weimar Republic, born in chaos, never stable. The conditions that made 1933 possible. One sealed train, one negotiated passage, one man with a briefcase and a conviction. The 20th century, all of it traceable back to a platform in Zurich on a spring morning in 1917. Germany thought it had found a weapon. It had found a mirror. The danger was never Lenin. The danger was the belief, held with complete certainty, never examined, built into every calculation, that the forces tearing Russia apart could never tear Germany apart. That belief lasted longer than the war. Not because it was true, because nobody realized it was an assumption. The most dangerous thing in any system is not the risk you can see. It is the wall you forgot was made of glass. Right now, Systems are deploying destabilizing forces with precision and intention. Information systems, economic sanctions, political movements funded across borders, technologies released into markets without modeling what happens after adoption, all of them aimed outward, all of them calculated against a target, none of them fully accounting for the mirror. The question is not whether the fire jumps the border. The pattern says it always does. The question is, which wall in your own system are you certain is solid, but have never actually tested? And in the next episode, a room, a signature, a bureaucratic decision so ordinary that the man who made it forgot about it within days. He remembered it for the rest of his life. Because what he signed, without reading it carefully enough, was already moving before the ink was dry.